This is the home of the Wildcats. 630 WLAP.
I will talk over this nonsense.
It's my jam.
Somebody needs to write lyrics to this.
There's plenty of fake ones.
Are there?
Well, there's in the end of season 4.
Which is when I bowed out.
Yeah, end of season 4, they had a choir over it.
There's actually lyrics to the song.
They say something, unless they're just like saying.
I mean, I have no doubt someone has written them, but we need to get a hold of those because
See what they say.
this is a moving piece of music.
Yeah,
and the
it
show was moving for a while, and then I couldn't do it anymore. Look, the story's amazing, but I don't need to see nudity constantly. I don't need to see arms getting cut off constantly. Just maybe a little. Anyway, Joey Police joins us for this. Every 2 weeks we get together and do a little. Now I made this mistake one time, Joey, and you corrected me. It's not. Is it geeky or nerdy? Which is the word I'm supposed to use?
Today we'll go with. Let's go with nerd today.
Nerd today. Okay, so not only is Comic-Con actually going on or just finished, the actual real Comic-Con. So there's obviously some stories coming out of that, some trailers for some new movies coming out.
Yep.
But you have seen the new Spider-Man, which I just found out is rather unfortunately titled Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes.
Which is just a major disappointment. We're going to try to get in a little Game of Thrones talk because Brandon and Garrett have talked nonstop about it. Joey and I don't watch it anymore, and Hunter, what?
Couldn't care less.
There we go. That's what I figured. So, and then lastly, we'll try to get to some. What did we say it was going to be the worst sci-fi movies ever? We'll put out maybe 5 of them.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with Comic-Con first, Joey.
So yeah, Comic-Con's going on. It's actually wrapping up this weekend. It's San Diego. A lot of big news coming out of this. Of course, the big winner this Comic-Con is Netflix. And if you've kind of been following along or following on Instagram or any of the news, Netflix is really releasing a lot of huge shows. The biggest one with Will Smith is called Bright. Have you guys watched the new trailer for this one?
I haven't seen that, no.
I've heard of it. It costs like $90 million or something, right?
Garrett, your enthusiasm.
I need to see the
I
trailer.
thought that was you, Karen, that said that. I was like, that's awesome.
No, I had no idea what you're talking about, but Garrett is all excited if you can hear it in his voice. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, so we've got Bright, and it is with Joel Edgerton, and it's also got Will Smith. It's $100. They put $100 million into this, and it's a science fiction. It's a take of science fiction and what was the cop movie with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke? It's kind of takes a play on that.
Training Day.
Training Day.
Brandon coming up big.
That's what I'm here for.
Joey, by the way, $100 million, that isn't a whole lot to put into a movie anymore, especially these kind of movies, right?
That's
It's a
still a
TV
lot
show,
of
isn't
movie.
it?
That's a Game of Thrones season.
I agree that would change my life. I'm just saying when it comes to these kinds of movies, that's
But
just about all of them.
It's
isn't
not
it?
getting released in theaters. It's just going to Netflix.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have a $70 million weekend. You just have Netflix subscriptions. So, granted, it's already been paid for by all the people that have it. But
And all the people that are going to get it just to see this,
when it
which
drops.
apparently is going to be Garrett
Joey,
because
I
he can't
assume
wait.
they also showed off some Defenders previews, maybe some. I just finished Ozark, their new show, which
It
was.
just came
What
out.
did you think of it? I'm curious.
It's
I haven't started
outstanding.
it.
No, wait a minute. Everett, time out. I want to
Is
do
that-
this. Wait a
Go
minute,
ahead.
hang on. I want to do this, okay? But you all have to treat the listeners like you treat me. You can't just say, "Oh, I've read Ozark. It's fantastic." What the heck is Ozark?
Ozark is a Jason Bateman starring dark drama about a mafia money launderer who has to move to Missouri to help set up a new.
I don't need the full script.
But basically, it's Jason Bateman just being Jason Bateman, and it's fantastic.
I don't see
it's
Jason.
fantastic.
I love Jason Bateman. I don't see him as a superhero type person. Is that not what this
I
is?
remember
No, it's not
watching the
superhero.
preview for this. I got to be honest with you. I may take a pass. It looks a little, for my taste, looks a little too dark. I'm
It
not
is dark.
sure.
Oh, it's
So-
very dark.
No, literally too
Is
dark.
it? Okay.
Shot very dark.
Like, I mean, they just closed the aperture way down.
Yeah, just day for night, basically.
Look at you using
Brandon,
photography
are you not impressed that I know what an aperture is?
I am.
That was a good word. That was a good word.
All right, go ahead, Joey. Anything
You know,
else?
the other big one for Netflix, and again, I'm behind on this as well, is Stranger Things. They've got a season 2.
You're behind. Oh man.
That's great.
And I have not. I haven't picked up with one, but I know. I'm an '80s kid, so
Yeah.
everyone's telling me, "How come you haven't watched
If
Stranger
you're a
Things yet?"
fan
Wait a minute,
of
wait a
the
minute,
80s,
wait a
like
minute.
Back to the Future,
Right.
all that kind
Yep.
of stuff,
Goonies.
like
Yep.
you're gonna love Stranger
We
Things.
talked. We did Goonies a couple camera cons.
See, I tried to watch the first episode and I couldn't get into it.
You should keep going.
I think you're too young.
Joey,
Yeah,
okay,
Hunter, the
Joey.
rule is you have to get through at least episode 5 in any season.
Okay, but
to give
isn't
it a
the
chance.
entire season 10 episodes?
like-
Right, you got to get halfway through.
It's 6
Got to
episodes.
get a passing grade. Joey, by the way, I think you told me that I needed before I could appreciate the next generation of Star Trek. I had to get through 3 episodes, right?
No, you need to get through 3 seasons.
Okay.
Oh, holy
Well, I made it to Whoopi Goldberg and then I quit. So, by the way, was there any announcement? Wait a minute. Was there any? And this isn't necessarily specific to Cameron Con, though it is very specific to Cameron. Was there any mention at Comic Con from Netflix about Arrested Development?
No,
Okay.
not in this convention.
Well, I mean, it's all anyone should be talking about, no matter what convention we're at. I just didn't know if they would announce a date or anything. So that's disappointing. All right.
No, and I know that they're looking to remake that. But here's the other big stuff that's coming out of Comic-Con is the release of Captain Marvel, which is going to be a prequel. Now, hear this, to Iron Man, taking place in the 90s.
I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's big.
So you're going to have Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, which I think is going to be really great. You're also going to have Michelle Pfeiffer in there. She's going to play Janet Van Dyne.
She played the Catwoman one time, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Michelle Pfeiffer's going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Along
That's
with
it. As
Lawrence
Janet Van
Fishburne.
Dyne in the
I am
Ant-Man and
so
the Wasp,
excited
who's
for
going
that
to be
movie.
played by Evangeline Lilly. So I'm
they
looking
gonna
forward to that as well.
Is John Slattery, the Mad Men guy, is he going to come back and play Tony Stark's dad? Is that a plan there? This is pre him dying, right?
That's a chance if they're doing.
Are
stuff
you
with
talking about
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Tony, like Tony Stark's dad?
Yeah,
I don't know.
older Stark.
I don't know if he'll
Yeah.
make a cameo or not.
That was
question.
That was really cool with him coming in Captain America, and you got to see the birth of Tony and everything. That was kind
Yeah,
of cool.
that was cool.
That was, and I know that from Samuel Jackson is going to come back as Nick Fury. Of course, he's not going to have the eye patch
He's gonna have 2 eyes.
in this one, but they don't know if we're going to see Robert Downey Jr. or not in Captain Marvel. My vote is I think we're going to see him at the end.
All right, Joey. Let me get one more thing about Comic-Con, and again, things that matter to me. Is there any talk about the new remake of the Wonder Twins?
Negative. No Wonder Twins talk at all. However, there is a new Justice League trailer out. If you
Oh,
haven't
it's
watched
so
it,
good.
Therefore,
it looks-
would have the
it
Wonder
looks
Twins.
amazing.
Joey, can I ask you a question?
How is there a Justice League without the Wonder Twins, Joey?
Joey, can I ask you a question about that trailer?
Go, Hunter.
Who is he looking at the very end of the trailer?
Luke Skywalker.
My
It's
vote
a
is Superman.
speculation.
A lot of people are saying it's Superman, but I think it's
Speculation.
Green Lantern because you can see green in his glasses.
Ooh,
If it's
Oh,
Green Lantern,
right.
that would
Yeah,
make
no-
sense because they are setting up a Green Lantern core movie.
Wait a minute, though.
So awesome.
Aquaman wears green.
Yeah, but he's
He's in teal in this movie.
already in the movie.
And back to who cares about DC? Marvel
Oh,
and
man.
Here we
the
go.
Infinity Wars
He's one of
preview
those
was
guys.
teased, and it just leaked.
Yes.
And it's huge.
Did
and
it
it's
leak?
amazing.
I've been looking for it all weekend. I can't find
Oh,
it.
I just
It
watched
leaked.
it. Just,
Oh,
he
you're
mentioned
Well,
it.
send me that link.
I
Garrett.
tell you what really blew me away was Thor Ragnarok,
It
and
looks so
I
good.
am really looking forward to
So
this one.
excited.
You know what I'm realizing? This week, Cameron Con is backfiring because typically I know nothing about any of this stuff, and
And
I ask
I'm-
dumb
and I'm the
questions.
dummy.
Well, yeah, well, when it comes to sports and everything else, yes. But when it comes to this stuff, you're actually not. But I am, and I'm fine to play that
Hold
because
on.
then I ask the question that I assume the listeners are wanting to know. Right now, we've got 3 of you in here that know more about this stuff than anyone has the right to know, and you're so in the weeds, no one has any idea what you're talking about. Let's get to Spider-Man.
Well, I see. If you want, let's pull it on track here. Let me tell you my thoughts on Spider-Man.
Yeah, let's
real
get
quick,
to Spider-Man.
Okay? Spider-Man: Homecoming, one of the best Spider-Mans made so far.
Thank you.
Tom Holland knocks it
was
out of the
good.
park.
So good. Favorite
Joey,
one.
Joey, let's take it from what is it actually that between the Batmans? Okay, some were great, some were not. Spider-Man, same thing. When you say this knocked it out of the park, what does that mean to you? Why was it so good?
Because if you look at the character of Peter Parker, Tom Holland is the person out of all of the different characters that have played Peter Parker, he exemplifies the character the best. Plus, you have Marissa Tomei as
Aunt May.
as the Aunt May, and then Michael
Marissa
Keaton
Tomei
playing the
as Aunt
Vulture.
May?
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, the best
How old am
villain,
I?
the best villain.
Which one? I'm sorry, I was talking over you, Joey. What villain
That's
do we
okay.
have?
Michael Keaton playing the Vulture.
Now,
Oh, it's great.
which one is the
did a
Vulture? Is
great
he the
job.
one with the long spidery arms?
No.
No,
No,
his
that's
wings.
Doc Ock.
No, that's
Okay.
Doc Ock.
Oh my! Oh,
Do you know
my bad.
anything about Spider-Man?
I will have you know, I went as Spider-Man for 8 Halloweens
That
in a
doesn't
row.
mean you know anything about him.
The Vulture has a suit and flies around like a vulture. That's the Vulture.
And he's
Yeah.
Cameron's gonna get really mad.
He's literally a vulture in the movie, like from what he does. Like,
And Spider-Man can't deal with a Vulture.
well, he's a little bit more powerful.
Yeah.
He's a member of the Sinister Six, which is a group of supervillains. We're not, if you're taking it back,
Which
he
we
also
had a little tease
apparently
on
has,
that, by the way.
Oh, do we? Breaking news on the Sinister Six?
Dude, the Sinister Six is coming. They already have 3 of them.
There's a scene at the end that kind of teases up something. I don't want to go any more than that.
Here's the thing. I sincerely love these movies, and I'm just so far behind, I don't think I'll ever catch up. I think the last one I saw was the 1989 Batman.
I want to go to dinner with Joey and just talk to him for like 6 hours.
No, I do this. Joey and I go to lunch every now and then, and this is what it's like.
I literally want to go.
Except he's teaching me. He's bringing me along slowly.
Joey, I'm coming next time.
Like diagrams and charts. And
Listen, and here's the thing, and this is why I wanted to do the whole premise behind Cameron Con, and I don't think it's this way anymore, but it used to be that people that were into fantasy and the nerdy stuff, they were outcasts. That's not the way it is anymore. Joey's one of the coolest people I know. He knows nothing, literally nothing about sports and basketball. He's still one of the coolest people I know. All right, Joey.
I appreciate that, Cameron, and I do know a little bit about sports. I know that Tom Brady is married to a supermodel.
Yes. Yes, I guess that's
Gisele
technically.
Bündchen.
Yeah, that is something to do with sports. All right, you want to get to the worst sci-fi movies ever? Or you got anything else about?
Let's quickly, if instead of the top 5, I'm curious to hear what your all's top 3 are. I'm going to tell you 2 of mine, and then I'll wrap it up with my final. My top one is Waterworld, one of the worst sci-fi movies ever made. Can we agree?
And at the time, the most expensive movie ever made, right?
Over $200 million, correct. Kevin Costner sunk his career with that movie.
Oh.
Number 2, go ahead.
No, I was just, I like to play on words, sunk his career in Waterworld, but did he really? I mean, was that his last, I mean, did he not have any kind of comeback at all after that?
Oh, he did. He had a few comebacks after that, but I think after when you take Dances with Wolves, that takes home 9 Academy Awards, and then you go to Waterworld, it's tough to come back from that.
Fair enough. All right.
a nice check, though.
All right. Yeah, well, see, that's all they really care about. All right. So
What's your second one
Waterworld makes the cut. What else we got?
Okay, the next one I'm going with Battlefield Earth.
Thank you. Let's just talk about that.
I love that you've all seen the worst movies.
That book is one of the best books ever written. And they turned it into a movie that is god awful.
Is this the one with like it's like wait a minute?
John Travolta dressed
all
up
right,
as
never
like
mind.
an
I thought
ape?
this was like the battleship that took on aliens. Never mind.
Oh,
Well,
Battleship?
one of the problems with it is L.
Battleship.
Ron Hubbard, who's the founder of Scientology.
Yes,
so
that's
I have
true.
a problem with it right there.
Right.
And they tried to just make this epic, novel of a book into a
They got preachy.
A horrible movie. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, it's just
horrible.
bad. It's just bad.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Waterworld. All right, now these are Joey's, but you all seem to be in agreement of the worst sci-fi movies ever. We've got Waterworld and Battlefield.
I think Battlefield
Earth.
Earth won the Razzie for worst movie of all time. I'm pretty sure it did.
I think you're right. You're probably right on that one.
I would add to that list The Happening.
God.
The
Well, it obviously wasn't a
M. Night
Happening.
Shyamalan
I'll be here all
movie
week.
with Mark Wahlberg. That movie was atrocious.
Yeah, nothing
Fine.
happened.
Yeah.
Science.
What'd you
Let's
say?
just go ahead and tell you the plants are killing people. It's the worst
I
movie.
think
That happens in a lot of movies.
And this is hard to wrap up the worst science fiction movie of all time, but I'm going to put it up there, guys. And here's why: is because it was on the other day, and I looked at my kids and I said, "Turn it off because it is absolutely offensive to the name of science fiction." And it's Eddie Murphy, Pluto Nash.
Oh, yes.
Come on.
That sunk Eddie Murphy's career, and how is that even sci-fi anyway? I don't care what he's doing. He's a comedian and he needs to be telling jokes.
All of the
That's
sci-fi
right.
movies that I've seen are new, so they're all good.
All right, well, you know what, Hunter? Give us one. Of all the new sci-fi movies you've seen? And by the way, if you mention Lord of the Rings, you're being thrown out of the studio.
I've only seen the first one, and I hated it, so I'm not going to mention that garbage. Are you asking me for my favorite or my worst?
Give me one of your worst. What you think is one of the worst sci-fi movies you've seen?
I just said I've seen a bunch of new ones, so I like them.
Okay, you like them all. You've never seen a bad sci-fi movie or fantasy movie. Let's even throw that in.
Really think of.
All right, well then you're gonna have to throw Lord of the Rings in there.
Okay, is that sci-fi?
I don't know. It's not really. It's fantasy.
No,
but I
that's
throw it in the same thing.
fantasy.
I was going to say I didn't think that was sci-fi.
Let's not be so pedantic, Joey. It's close enough. All right. You know what, Brandon? You mentioned one earlier that hadn't been mentioned yet.
Troll 2,
Troll 2.
one of the worst movies
Oh,
ever
yeah.
made.
Well, to be fair, when you make a Troll 1, you just
Or a
know
Leprechaun.
there's. Well, thank you. Well, no, whoa.
I know. We're going into a whole different genre here.
No. Here, Leprechaun launched Jennifer Aniston's career,
Which
so
is
you
a
just back
wonderful
off.
thing.
Yeah, you just back off her. Now, and I don't know anything about Troll 1 or 2, but Leprechaun's fine.
And
So-
now, looking at a list, I mean, I personally like this movie because it was my childhood, and it is sci-fi, but Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 1.
See, I
It's
didn't
a
hate
terrible
it.
movie.
Hush.
See, like I mean, but I
All
love
three
it.
of
I
them
mean,
are really
All
bad,
right.
actually.
Oh, Joey, wait before you hang up on him if you're going to. I don't know
No,
if you are.
don't get Joey.
Joey, I've been meaning.
No, I'm. Go ahead, Hunter.
I want to watch the Star Wars series, and I
should-
don't know how to
right now.
start. Do I start 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3?
What have I told you 1,000 times?
I've never asked you. I don't
special
know.
order.
You go in the
You
correct
start with
order.
4,
You
5,
start
6.
with
4,
4,
5,
5,
6.
6.
And then go 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Oh, you can
Then
skip
go
one.
1, 2,
You
3.
get the ones that are good, and then you see how bad the other ones are. However, Brandon, I agree with you. Because it was Star Wars, I tended to like them anyway. I needed that back in my life as bad as it was.
Yeah.
I
That was in
actually-
fifth
Everyone
grade and thought
did.
it was the coolest
Everyone
thing
did.
ever.
And I'm going to say this about the Phantom Menace. Here's where the Phantom Menace went wrong. It was two things. It was dialogue,
Yep.
and it was
Very.
casting.
Listen, the Star Wars movies that are good are funny subtly.
Also, midichlorians.
These, first of all, midichlorians
Yeah,
are real.
I
You
agree.
need to stop that. But they're subtly funny. Okay, it's the Han Solo, or even though it's a serious moment, Leia saying "I love you" and him saying "I know." It's those moments. The three that are new, they intentionally tried to be funny and silly, and in some senses just grotesque or just silly, and it fell flat on its face.
See, now I'm going to go back and watch all of these movies and be sad because I know that Han Solo
The
dies.
idea, by the way, we got to get to a
Hey,
break, Joey.
spoilers.
But listen, the idea that you could graduate from the University of Kentucky without having seen all of the Star Wars movies is offensive.
I haven't graduated yet. I still can.
Well, I'm going to have a talk with your professor. All right, Joey,
So,
thanks.
so-
Go ahead, real quick.
Real quick, Cameron. Next time we go to lunch, bring Hunter, bring anyone
Yeah.
else, and we'll make sure we get more in discussion of the proper way to watch a Star Wars film.
Sounds
Do you
good.
agree
Thanks
that
again.
Battlefield Earth is the worst sci-fi movie of all time?
Agreed.
Agreed? Okay.
I'll allow it.
Sounds good. All right, Joey, love you. Talk to you later, bud.
See you guys. Bye.
All right, we're going to get to the next break. We'll be right back. Cameron Mills Radio brought to you by LHC.